something like that. So that was like the start of my Parasport work within the inclusion subject. So now I work for Parasport Sweden with inclusion projects and events, and not only table tennis, also other sports, Paralympic sports. So that's what I do now on a daily basis, trying to develop and trying to include, and lots of different fun projects and events. It was a while ago now since I visited your club in Brighton, but I follow you on Facebook, so I do know a little bit.
Are you still in Malmo then? You live in Malmo still?
I still live in Malmo, but my office is in Stockholm, so I go to Stockholm a lot. And I also go around in Sweden for the different events, and also some international projects still.
Yeah. So I think that in terms of like the history of the club, in the timeline of our club, 2013, we started doing a session with Grace Air on a Friday, which we still do, which Teacher on Room we still do, at this time on a Friday actually, so that's good timing. And then in 2015, I think, we came to the Malmo Open, just Harry Fetch and Emma Ritchie. And the Malmo Open that Lisa organised single-handedly with about 6 phones on the go and lots of organising. It was very impressive. Is the biggest para-sport competition outside the Paralympics, is that right?
That's right, yeah. The biggest yearly competition. It's actually bigger in the number of participants than the Winter Paralympics.
Wow. How many people involved?
It's around 1,500, 2,000 participants in 15 different sports. So table tennis is one of the sports. I think the table tennis competition has around 150 participants.
Yeah, amazing. And that's been going for how many years?
It's been going on every year since 1977. So it's
wow.
44 years.
3 years, yeah. And yeah. We brought so many players to the European Union, which we are very sadly not a part of anymore. Which, I've been telling a few people, oh, Lisa's coming on, and we talked about the exchange programs with club in Berlin, Sweden, and Brighton. So good, such a good project. And we're a bit sad actually about the fact that it's now not. You know, you lot can do it with each other, but just not with us.
Yeah. So I hope you will come again soon to Malmo Open. The competition is every year, and we hope that this year we had good timing. It was right before all of this happened, and we hope that all of this will be over when it's time for the next year. So it's in February. So we have good time to recover from this.
Well, Harry, I know Harry and Andrew and Chris are really keen. And also, we have a couple of players that could come. So there's a lot of people keen to come to work out how to pay for it. Anyway, Lisa.
Yes.
Does anyone have a question for Lisa about her work in Sweden and about the Malmo Open, or about? Does anyone want to say hello? Remember her from a few years ago? Robert, you're waving.
Where are you, Robert?
Hello.
I see Harry waving. I need to scroll down here.
How are things in Sweden? Are you in lockdown?
Not really. We are quite lucky. We are quite free. We can still go out.
Oh,
but we need to follow some restrictions, of course. But we're not as locked in as you are.
Oh, I've been in lockdown we've been in lockdown for the last 4 weeks. Well, I have anyway.
I see. Yes. So there are some table tennis clubs actually open here, but they cannot have too many participants, of course, at the same time. And yeah, so things are going slow here too.
And how do people feel about that, Lisa? How do people feel about that sort of decision from the government?
Here they feel good. We trust our government. So
we don't.
It's no. So actually we're really lucky. I mean, we're still pretty free, and the hospitals are still working and can take care of people, and it's no chaos here yet. So we just try to do everything we can to keep it like this.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, Fairchild, want to say hello?
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Harry. I miss you.
Yep, yeah, me too. Yeah. How are you doing out there in Malmo?
It's just fine.
Good.
There is some table tennis going on, and as long as there is table tennis going on, it's always fine.
Yeah,
Oh,
so my,
I see Malmo open on someone's screen.
you know, my question is, I've been talking to Tim about something, about how we organize Can or Roger to be on there.
Harry's been saying, can we get Waldner on the show, Lisa?
Sorry, what did you say?
Can you organise for Waldner to come on the show, please?
For Malmo to come on the show. Who in
Waldner.
Malmo?
Waldner. How do you say it in Swedish?
Waldner. Waldner. Yeah, I'll do my best.
The word, please.
I'm not in touch with him, but I'll do my best.
We can't even pronounce his name.
If you do this, so how do you aim for me?
I will.
Right,
If I reach him, I will.
And one more, if you see him, tell him every time I see him on my laptop, on my TV, it's an amazing player.
He
Is really an amazing player. I agree.
Do broadcast.
Harry, just so that, Lisa, do you want to explain? I don't know if everyone on here will know who that person is. Just say a bit of Swedish history and table tennis history about this person.
Yeah, I mean, Waldner is like the legendary Swedish table tennis player who beat all the Chinese players in the, I don't know, late 80s, 90s, and he played even until, I don't know, 2004, I think, at least. So he and Jürgen Persson and Appelgren and some other Swedish players, they beat China in the World Championships in '94, I think it was, which was a legendary thing to do.
The best table tennis documentary. You can't say this in front of Caleb because he says that believe that is the best table tennis documentary. But the best Swedish table tennis documentary. I think it's about an hour long. It's on YouTube and it's called Brighton. And it's all about those three boys and the Waldner, Appelgren, Persson, and it tracks them kids going to beat China in the World Championships. It's an amazing documentary. So, yeah, Sweden's got an amazing table tennis history, hasn't it? Sweden's.
It does. It was really on its prime time during like the 90s, and then it's been down. But now we're going up and down. But table tennis is still a big sport in Sweden. Of course, not like football or handball or ice hockey. Those are the three biggest in Sweden. But table tennis are doing good.
I'm just going to unmute Pippa and spotlight Pippa because Pippa's been to Malmo, haven't you, Pippa? Just tell us about your experience there.
Hi, Lisa. So I took my son Leo when he was 9, I think. So he came along with the big guys as a bit of a group mascot.
Maybe Lisa doesn't recognise you, Pippa, because you.
I remember
all
you.
of us without all our silly stuff on. But Leo had an amazing time. There you go. That was how I looked then. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That was the photo that made it into the Malmo paper.
Yeah, I remember.
With the article. But it was, for me, it was the most amazing experience because although I've got a strong Down syndrome community back in the UK, it was the first time that I had been somewhere where I was surrounded by athletes with disabilities, where their sport came first and the disability was incidental. And it was really amazing to be even in the hotel to see all the athletes in their sports wheelchairs zipping around the hotel. And the very few people there that didn't have obvious disabilities were looking really confused at all these amazing athletes in wheelchairs. And it was really great to be the majority. And it's one of the few times in my life where I felt like we are the mainstream and we're the majority. And it was a really empowering thing. My son, although he's got very severe learning disabilities, he seemed to really understand that he was amongst his family, his extended family, and he really blossomed while we were there as well and became so much more confident. So for him as a player and for me as his parent carer, it was a really liberating and empowering and just so much smiles and laughter. It was a really wonderful few days. I will always remember it.
That's lovely to hear. That's really the purpose of that event. I mean, it's a sports event, but it's so much more than sports. It's everything around it, and it's people from all over the world coming to see each other.
It was great. It was great for me to meet teenagers from the Down syndrome from Italy and from Iceland. It was fantastic.
Yeah, lovely to hear. You need to come back.
Yes. All right then.
Thank you, Pippa. Fran's got a question. Hi, Fran.
Hey, hey, Lisa. Do you remember me?
I will try to find your video.
How long have you been working in Malmo for?
Now I see you. I've been working in Malmo with Parasport for almost 10 years now. 10 years ago, I was studying to physiotherapist, and I was a table tennis coach. And I started to practice table tennis with a woman with a disability. So that's how I got in touch with the Parasport. And then they asked me if I wanted to be a classifier for the para table tennis. So that's how the story began. And now I work with like everything within Parasport, not only table tennis, but it was with table tennis it started. And table tennis is a great Parasport.
You play
so wide.
You play National League, Lisa. You play Swedish National League.
Yeah, and not this season, but I did for many seasons.
But Teresa, I don't think you've met each other, but you two should meet one day. But who will eat English? Didn't you have Lois and Yolanda coming over to play for your team?
Yeah, Lois Peak. Did Lois Peak or Yolanda King? They played in Swedish League. I don't know if you came across them.
That's right. I played in her team. Me and Yolanda played in the same team for some seasons.
And
Yeah.
Lois Peak,
Yolanda, that's my claim to fame. She came to my club in Hastings.
Oh, really?
The first time, yeah.
She's really nice. She was young when she was here. She was around 17, 18, I think. It was many years ago. But she's a really nice woman.
Yeah.
We need to organise a trip to Sweden, and you need to come to Brighton as well.
I promise.
I
As soon as you let me in, I will come.
Keep you posted.
Yeah,
You should definitely come and play at our table tennis club.
I would love to. I've been there to your venue. I remember it, but I think you changed it a bit since I was there.
Yeah, it looks a bit better now. Well, right, lovely. Can we give Lisa a big thank you, round of applause? Everyone's unmuted. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
So lovely to see you again, really.
We're going to put some of this on YouTube as well, so we'll send you
cool.
that later.
There's that for Lisa.
That's for Lisa, yeah.
Oh,
Andrew.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
You need to go, but next up is Robert English with some singing. So let's crack on. Where is Mr. English? Hi, Robert.
Hello.
Let's go. What have you got for us?
I've been practicing for quite a long. Been practicing, so I hope you enjoy it. This song is from one of my favourite musicals. There's a bit of a story behind it. I went to see it. It first of all opened in 1985, and the critics slammed it, said it was going to be no good, and they were proved wrong. It's been a roaring success. I went to see it with my mum, and I'd never been up to London until 1994 to see a musical. And she said, "Don't shout out, Rob, it's not a pantomime." And I went to see it, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It was made quite famous by a certain somebody on Britain's Got Talent in 2008, 2009. Susan Boyle. It's one of my favourite songs. It's not the song that I was going to sing to you. The song that I was going to sing to you, I'm still practicing, so that's for another day. This is another song that I really do like.
I love Susan Boyle. Go for it.
There, out in the darkness, a fugitive running, fallen from God, fallen from grace. God be my witness, I never shall yield till we come face to face. Till we come face to face. He knows his way in the dark. Mine is the way of the Lord. Those who follow the path of the righteous shall have their reward. And if they fall as Lucifer fell, the flame, the sword, stars in your multitude, scarce to be counted, fill in the darkness with order and light. You are the sentinels, silent and sure, keeping watch in the night, keeping watch in the night. You know your place in the sky, you hold your course and your reign, and each in your seasons returns and returns, and is always the same. And if you fall as Lucifer fell, you fall in flames, and so it must be, for it is written on the doorway to paradise, that those who fall and those who fall must pay the price.
Changing hands, that's the skill, not dropping the bat or the ball. Very good. Like your hat, Fran. Super stuff. And Charlie's hat, just noticed that one. Like it. Brilliant. Well done, everybody. And that
Lovely.
ended the
Lovely.
White
Thank you,
Rabbit
Teresa.
Challenge.
Yeah. Round of applause, please, for everyone's bat and ball skills.
Nice and quick today.
Oh no. What, the tube thing?
Yeah, just very quickly.
All right, I'll try.
Show us. You showed me some video yesterday. I liked it.
Nice hat, Gary. You look like a bus driver.
I've got to try and get it so I can see what I'm doing. That's the ball. You go in. Right. Basically, the ball goes in there, rolls down, and you start again.
Genius.
How many in a row have you managed to do?
Oh, there should be, yeah, there's probably another button down here that it bounces off so it comes to your feet. And
Have you managed to do?
basket, you've got to keep it going round and round.
Have you managed to do consecutive?
Only two.
Two. And is that why there's been very little painting happens? Because you've been spending most of your time doing that. No, it's genius. I love it.
What's it made of, Gary? Is it just a tube?
Fully approve. Oh, a bit of work involved, I think.
Well, yeah, this is only the prototype. So it's one of the broken baskets. I'll go the other side. One of the broken baskets there, and then some tubes we found outside, gaffer taped.
Yeah.
When the ball goes in, goes through there, runs down. Oh, it's hard to do it like this. Runs down here, and then goes into another bit, drops down, and then it's supposed to bounce off another bat, so it's easier to keep it going.
Yeah. I don't think Caleb's got anything to worry about in terms of Gary taking over from making videos for the reader.
Not that easy.
I love it. Gary, you're
So
inspiring.
it's a great prototype.
Lucy said she's going to make one now. So you're inspiring other people to get.
That's just the prototype. The real
Yeah.
ones need to be unveiled.
Thank you. Able to share your screen?
I'm just going to do that now.
Right. If you need any permission, then I can maybe.
Let's have a look. Bear with me.
Yeah.
You can see that?
Yeah. Perfect. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big. Yeah.
Brilliant. I'm just going to have 30 seconds because this man is too modest to talk about himself. Excuse me. So you all know Alexis, but I don't know whether you know much about his photographic career. He doesn't look a day over 30, but actually he's been a photographer for over 30 years, starting as a photographer's assistant. Excuse me, he's been all over the world shooting for magazines, record companies and businesses. He's had over 100 record covers for dance music and world music as well. And he's been involved with photographing a number of topics, including the environment. And in the last 10 years, completed photojournalism projects on the Bristol estate, New Haven and Dieppe, and actually won Black and White Photographer of the Year for his New Haven project.
Nice.
Exactly. Last year, completed a very different type of project for himself on plants, and his book will be coming out once we're through lockdown. Alexis' words, I discovered BTTC and it changed my life. My mental health condition has significantly improved, and I know that's down to being involved with the community and club. And he's really honoured to be the in-house photographer. So you can have a regular slot. Over to you.
Okay, could we have, please people let me know if you can't see the pictures.
We'll start with portraits.
We're starting with portraits, and obviously here we have Amy White. Can everyone see that? Can I have a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's Amy Winehouse just before she became super famous.
Alexis, before you skip to the next photo, there's a little story underneath. Shot in Camden. We shot 1.5 hours of film, then went to the pub where she thrashed me at Paul and dragged it under the table. So you spent the day, the night?
Half the day.
The night.
You and Amy Winehouse went to the pub after you took that photo. That's cool.
Yeah, and she was, it was just on the cusp of her becoming super, you can see before the tattoos and everything else, and it was an honour.
Wow.
Where were they used, those pictures?
They were used in a magazine called Straight No Chaser and ID.
And subsequently
documentaries. The Amy Winehouse documentary used them. I can't remember, the Melbourne Herald, all kinds of stuff.
And when anyone like that uses it, they contact you and have to ask for permission and stuff. Is that how it works?
Well, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we've got a story behind this one. Anyone of a certain age remember Hazel O'Connor?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Teresa. This is her niece, who's a very big up-and-coming singer. And yes, as you can see underneath, we're featured with her, never worked with children and animals, and certainly horses.
Or table tennis players.
Table tennis players, yeah. And it's a question of coming up with an idea. This is what I've been trying to do with our selfies, and maybe thinking, what could I do with this? How how it could be shown. And I think this one, especially as the horse's tongue is hanging out, if you look closely. And this again was used all over the place, various magazines and record cover. If we go to, yeah. And here's another one for the younger generation, Dexys Midnight Runners.
Nice.
And this was, they had an album come out, and as it says underneath, I was a massive fan and was very nervous, and he was post-flu. And what I would like to say is a lot of these shoots are done in 2 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes. You haven't got long. The press officer is hanging over you. You've got to come up with something very quickly that's interesting before you're told your time's up. So there's pressure involved. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I could go on for hours. Obviously, we haven't got the time about this.
What are their most famous songs?
There's Come On Eileen, Gino, Jackie Wilson said.
Come On Eileen.
Come on, Eileen.
And what was Kevin like?
Kevin was. He wasn't the easiest of fellows, but he wasn't the easiest of fellows, but nothing compared with the next one.
Oh.
If we go to, I don't know if anyone remembers Ginger Baker, the drummer from Cream.
Oh, there's a rude word on there.
Oh, is there? There's a rude word on there.
We'll just come out of that one.
Liz knows Ginger Baker. I think you should talk to Liz about Ginger Baker, Alexis, after this.
Oh, right, okay. Let's see if there's a... Yes, and he was famous for being the most difficult man in rock and roll. and I was asked by an American company to photograph his record cover. As you can see, he chain smoked, so I thought I'd use the smoke. And he's actually sitting on the Brabantia bin in his kitchen, and I put a backdrop up, and he was possibly the rudest person I've ever met. But the photos were used everywhere, the record cover, and you know, I was really pleased. But again, it's working under pressure, a lot of pressure.
Why was he just rude to everyone?
Yes, he is rude to everyone. Yeah. This is the classic one where you've got 1 minute before they come out on stage. I had to light it backstage. He's 94 years old and he does a somersault on stage, which is the most terrifying thing you've ever seen. 94, yeah. And I was just, again, it's just, you know, really pleased with the use of colour and the hat and the hands. But I had to, again, it's about thinking on your feet, coming up with something very, very, very quickly. And he was lovely, actually. He wasn't horrible at all, but we were very much against the clock. One for Tim, if we can find, yeah, go to Lee. There we go. Reggae legend for Tim, Lee Scratch Perry. I can honestly say, I don't know if this is politically correct, but he's as mad as a fish. This was used for a record cover and a full page in a magazine. And he was interesting, I think is the word to say. And again, the time involved was very, very short.
Where was that taken?
That was taken in a studio somewhere in London. And I literally had and I had an interpreter as well, because his Jamaican accent was so thick that I actually had an interpreter.
Did you understand what he said, or did you need the interpreter?
I needed the interpreter.
Probably one more.
Yeah, I don't know if we got how long we have.
Couple more.
Couple more.
Two more favourites.
Where's Lisa? Go to Elise. She's there.
She's there.
Yeah. If we go to, obviously, most people have heard of Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
Well, I photographed her in a hotel room in London, and again, she was a joy. She was absolutely. She invited me to stay for breakfast. Her mum was there. Her mum actually held the reflector board to reflect some light back into her face, and I had no idea, which is my fault really. I didn't do enough background information. I had no idea how famous she was. And then, if you remember, just after, I think it was 9/11, she did a massive concert to raise money for the victims. And I was watching the television and I suddenly put two and two together and just sort of thought, that was the one I photographed last week. You know, it was...
When we first got that old blue minibus, Alexis, there's a funny video. Caleb was there. And I was with Harry Fairchild. Harry.
Hey, mate.
You know what song Alicia Keys sings?
Yes, I do. Yes, I know anything about her.
What's the song that we always used to sing?
Listen, I didn't know it had to meter. So good.
Yeah, but Harry loves. He just started singing "This Girl Is on Fire," but changing the word "girl" to "bus." Anyway, yeah, we sung that a lot in the old minibus. But yeah, that's an amazing photo, that one.
Fat Boy, and obviously Brighton's finest, Fat Boy Slim, and this was used. It was a video, and I was literally given 30 seconds to photograph him. He was wheeled in by his management and press officer to dress as a bellboy. You know, this is shot actually at the Grand, as in sort of Quadrophenia. I set up the light. I photographed. I practiced on a waiter. And he literally walked into the shot. I must have taken 5 photos, and then he was whisked away again. And this is what comes. And this is used in the video with Christopher Walken, when he dances around the hotel foyer in a very famous video. And the portrait is on the wall. This portrait here.
Is there? What year was that? 'Cause he looks young, doesn't he? Is that?
Yeah. It was too long ago for me to remember. It was. I don't know. Maybe 15, 16 years ago.
Well, I mean, that's just unbelievable, Alexis. And on the left-hand side, this is Alexis's website, and we share the link again below. You've got 2 sections of portraits, the Bristol estate stuff, New Haven DX, fascinating sort of social commentary, media, contact, table tennis club. So that's all the Brighton Table Tennis Club. I mean, I show people your website and say, look at what our photographer's done. And I mean, Alexis has been to with the Table Tennis Club. Where have we been, Alexis?
Porto, Madeira, and Tampere in Finland. And always had the best time.
We've had a great time, and all the stuff you've done in Brighton and in the prisons, and you've done lots of pictures of, all of the club's pictures are all done by Alexis. So, it's amazing, really, for a table tennis club to have a sort of resident photographer that has done all of this in the past and continues to make such brilliant photos. So, we are.
Can I just thank you, Tim? Sorry, just for giving me the chance to photograph at the Table Tennis Club, because it's been a revelation.
Well, we won't. Just click on your Table Tennis Club tab, if that's all right, because people will look later. Just show that all of Alexis's his favourite ones are all here. Scroll down. It's just so good. When any funder comes to the club, we give them a tour of the club, get them in the office, and you can show them the timetable and stuff. But then we just show them this. And they're like, okay, wow, it just brings it all to life. Look at all the colour there. I said this to someone this morning, Alexis. I said, the very first few pictures you took at the club were black and white. And then you said that this has to be colour because of the sort of colour and vibrancy in the club,
Yeah.
Yeah, and the postcards are going down well.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's good to know.
Those and, they look brilliant. So, yeah, we are incredibly grateful for everything you've done for the club over the last 4 years, I think.
Yeah, and I'm incredibly grateful for you giving me the chance. So thank you, and thank you everybody for having a look.
You need to work on your backhand.
Yeah, I certainly do. Yeah, that's true.
Has anyone got any questions for Alexis? There's a few in the comments. We're going to do this weekly for the next however many weeks. There's different categories. We can have a look at projects. Charlie, love that video. I know which video.
Oh, the Christopher Walken video.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Awesome photos, Alexis. Pippa said this to me. Pippa, send them to everyone because I might sometimes miss these chats. How did you get the eye colour to pop on FB?
Oh, just computer and mucking around. Sorry, it sounds so boring.
Lucy and Susie really loved interviewing Fatboy Slim at Paddle Around the Pier. We should get him down the club. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Any other questions about Alexis and his photos? Charlie's got a hand up. Go for it, Charlie.
Do you prefer doing like film photography or digital?
I have to say, and I wish, because I know there's a bit of snobbery, I much prefer digital because it gives me the chance to go from being able to photograph in in bright sunlight to, not much light at the club without having to kind of waste a roll of film, without having to go and buy film. I miss printing in the darkroom a lot, but the modern version is working on the computer. But I don't miss film. I know that's a bit, a lot of people about the art and everything about film. And I shot film and I won awards for my printing, and I miss printing. But apart from that, I really like digital. I like the fact that, like what we've been doing with the selfies, everyone can have a go without the expense, of going to the lab and having to pay.
Yeah.
When we were kids, Alexis, my mum would say to us, Fran, can you not do your screen, Fran? Sorry, just bring everyone back. I don't know if that was an accident. My mum used to say, if you ruin a photo, then you have to pay for it, because you used to have to pay for like every print.
Yeah.
If someone was making a silly face, then it was never enforced. But now, it's not a problem, is it? I've got so many thousands of pictures on my phone, But no, we take snaps, and then you come along into our outreach sessions and then to the club, and what you've done for the club is yeah, incredible, really. And it's almost like a social, it's a social document. You know, we'll have 4 years of photos, and Caleb came around about the same time, about 6 months after you arrived. And, you know, when people come in, when a journalist or someone comes into the club, they might come in for an hour or a couple of hours, but the fact that you and Caleb have been involved for years now means that there's like the trust in the relationship, but there's just long-term stories being told through pictures and videos. So yeah, it's really good. It's really powerful. Pip has said, or someone, who haven't you photographed that you'd like to?
Oh, good question. Well,
Harry
obviously, sorry?
Not really. I think there's a few people with Harry Fletcher.
I think I photographed Harry. There's a few people I'd really like to have photographed. There was a certain era when I would like to have been the in-house photographer in the 1950s and early 60s at Columbia Records, when John Coltrane and Miles Davis and all the jazz people, and they used to have in-house. I that would have been my dream job. But you know, I do get to photograph a lot of great jazz musicians now, and in studios it's not Miles Davis or John Coltrane, but you know, so it's very hard to be serious and give a talk, you know, looking at yourself with a pair of giant bunny ears and a
well, Gary, that looks very rude. I don't know what that is, but garlic.
Next week I'd like to show, I don't know, maybe some more portraits from another page or one of my projects.
Yeah.
Oh, any would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Everyone's loved that.
Is it worth you reminding everybody about the film cover photo that we've got to do for Wednesday?
Yes, that's a really good point, Teresa. Yeah. Next week's selfie competition is a bit of a step up, I know, but I think everyone's improved so rapidly that it's worth having a go. And I'd like people to try and think of a record cover that they'd like to be on, or they'd like to recreate, or see, and to make their own record cover. You know, I mean, you know, if it's Chicho with his guitar, or if it's someone walking down the street, or someone crossing. I know we're not allowed to go outside, but you know, I mean, if you can sneak and walk across barefoot across a zebra crossing and recreate the Beatles. I mean,
it's between everyone. You have very, very wide zebra crossing.
No one get arrested though.
Yeah. Obviously, I can't condone any. You know, obviously with I mean, that Beatles record couldn't be made at the moment with social distancing, obviously, but you know, I want people to have fun as well, because I mean, you know, and I always try to make my shoots fun. Certain people haven't been fun, like Ginger Baker, but you know, most people are very, you know, are lovely, as we all know.
I think, Alexis, I don't know. Well, I don't know any other sort of professional photographers. I know lots of people that take pictures, but what you do really well, and everyone will agree that you know, you're taking photos of most people here in the club, is you put people, you make people feel relaxed very easily, and you have a natural way of just getting the best out of everyone, I think, and sort of standing up on a chair and making a joke. You know, so I think actually I have seen some photographers stand up, and they don't really know how to do that, and you do. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Tim.
Cool.
Lovely.
Charlie put getting arrested would be a good record cover, haha.
Yes, there's a good suggestion to share one top tip for amateur photographers each week, so you can.
Yeah, that's to share one top. And I would say that
this week, don't get arrested.
Yeah, but what I was told when I was at college, one of the most important things is just keep shooting. Especially now, you know where it doesn't cost as much, obviously, because everything is a photograph. There's always something worth taking or having a look at, or even if you don't take the photograph, I spend a whole time thinking, oh, that might be a good photograph, or this could be a good photograph. It's almost like hunting. And maybe you know, if people that'd be my top tip. I can't believe it sounds like Viz for this week, would be to just to always keep looking. Yeah, does that make sense?
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool. Well, yeah, it was nice you choosing these, and it was nice choosing the photos for the postcards. And then, you know, Betty's birthday today. Has anyone seen that Facebook post about Betty's birthday? It's gone,
Yeah, loads of people have
loads
written,
of people.
haven't they?
But yeah, you know, Wenway says, can you get me the photos, any photos of Wenway with Betty? And as you came to Patching Lodge, got all those pictures that Alexis took. And then Lindsay's asked me to get as many pictures as I can of Harry with Wenway and other people. And yeah, I've just got an amazing catalogue of all your pictures. Charlie is working on some sort of gallery. So the Table Tennis Club can have a gallery where you can sort of search for, yeah, it could all be tagged like a library basically. And that's going to be amazing. So yeah, it's just an incredible resource to the Table Tennis Club. So we are all incredibly grateful. I'm going to unmute everyone so we can say thank you, Alexis.
Thank you, Alexis.
Great photos. Fantastic photos.
That was brilliant.
And Nikki. What I would like to say is we pay Alexis a very little amount of money, and he does an amazing job for the Table Tennis Club. And if people need photos done, he's done some photos with Heidi when she was born, and you know, he's available for bar mitzvahs and special occasions. No, yeah. Anyway, that's an option. And look at his website, and your Instagram, Alexis, as well. Is that? Should we all follow that?
You can, yeah. I can't remember what the title is, but if you just go to Alexis Marion, I think it would come up on the Instagram.
Cool.
And if you follow him, you'll get a sneak preview of the project he's been working on under lockdown.
This is with Nikki as well, and it's all about magic.
Yes.
So it's quite a spooky one.
I'll find your Instagram and I'll share your Instagram with everyone. But there was some. I had a little look the other day after you said about your Instagram, and there's a picture on there from Brazil with a kid with there's some amazing photos on there. So highly recommended. And yeah, look forward to next week's selfie competition and your residence showcase. So cool. Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you.
Right, Teresa, I appreciate the time now. So who's next?
Brandon's back on. So
yes.
Do you want to quickly tell us about how to do the challenge?
Yeah, please do, Brandon, if you could unmute. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hi. Hope
Hi,
everyone's
Brandon.
well. Hi. Yeah, I've gotten a few videos actually now. Yeah, they're all coming in now. So I've gotten a few. There's some interesting ones, some creative ones. There's some hilarious ones I've gotten. Yeah, so what I like is basically any object, a ping pong ball, toilet paper, whatever you like, to be thrown from the right-hand side, coming in, hit, doing any skill, or you can just throw and yeah, any juggling, creative things, and you gotta basically throw it to the left side.
Right to left.
Right.
Yeah, right to left. So it's a lot easier. Yeah, the more we have, the better it'll be. Possibly if we get everyone, possibly could put the Pimple Wonderland song on in the background. Depending on if we get so many. So I'm still waiting for some people. I am.
But was it 5 seconds maximum? Yeah.
5 to 7 seconds. It doesn't really matter. Between 5 to 10 seconds.
If we had 50 people with 5-second videos, then Brandon's going to stitch them all together and
yeah. And then I'll be able to put the Pimple Wonderland song on. And I need to get Nick to send me
Send them to Brandon, Susie. It's on the link.
Yeah, and then I have posted it quite a few times around, so it should be on everywhere. Yeah.
Good.
I'm just here for the fudge cake. How to make this cake. So I'm looking forward to whoever's making this.
Yes. Thank you, Brandon. That will be good. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you for everyone who's so far doing it. Serena, Lynn, funny ones. You got especially Lynn's funny one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to many more coming in soon.
Nice. Super. Thank you, Brandon. Which brings us to Charlie. Hello.
Hello.
Take it away, Charlie. What are you going to show us?
Hello. Well, I'm going to have to share my screen and show you a picture because I've made this twice and we've all eaten it. So we don't have any left.
There's just none left.
Yeah, none left. But I'll share my screen because I took a picture and I've been making this BTTC cookbook with everyone's recipes in. So
Nice.
I made this a chocolate fudge cake. And I've got a picture of the ingredients, and you wouldn't ever know it if you ate it, but it's actually vegan.
Okay.
Something to do with you do all the flour and the cocoa, and then you mix it with what's that, bicarbonate of soda and apple cider vinegar, and it makes the reaction that makes it kind of like rise like eggs would. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
vegan chocolate.
Yeah, the chocolate on top is with dark chocolate and coconut oil, so it's really rich and really scrummy, but it's not got too many ingredients. So hopefully, if you've got the chocolate and coconut oil and flour, you should be able to make it at home. So I'll send around the recipe on the Daily Show WhatsApp chat.
And does this document have more than just this recipe? Is this your?
Yeah, it has. So I've got Pedro's patatas bravas on there. And I've got Liz's French onion soup.
Nice.
And I'm just waiting for get some pictures off Harry for his banana pancakes and Chriso's crispy kale to add on there.
Yeah.
And I've just had a lovely offer from Fran. She wants to do the slot next week, so we're going to fill this up.
Yeah, nice. That's gonna look nice when and I've seen you've been posting that on yeah.
Put it on Instagram and everything. Yeah.
Shop until you drop.
Magic. Applause, please. BTTC.
I got this. Nicholas Quill. Sing along. Come on, Nick.
Right, so what I will say is
People. Andrew's telling us the time.
Especially for the singing. Andrew, we run over. Can we sing, Andrew? We've got your permission to sing.
Okay.
Nick, do you know if there's any other table tennis clubs that have got their own cookbook?
There aren't.
I think this might be a
Or
first.
choir. We're unique. No cookbooks, no choir. I know that for a fact.
And Juliet, Juliet here tonight, but Lenora and Juliet, and there's a whole project. That rap project is going places, and we're going to go to Malmo Studios, and we're going to go and record Juliet and Lenora there. Lenora, right, Alexis has been to Malmo, and so's Nick. Just tell Lenora 30 seconds how good it is up there. The one in Bermondsey.
It's just sensational. You're a rock and roll star when you go there. It's rock and roll to the max.
Elton John, everyone's
Adele, Holton.
Us. I went to the shop, the little corner shop. Oh, Vidget didn't come. I went to the shop in Bermondsey. So it's in an old garage, converted garage in Bermondsey, and there's a shop around the corner, just like a newsagent. And I went in, and I said, "Oh, we're in Malmo Studios today." And the guy in the shop was like, "Oh, anyone famous?" No, just us. Because he's probably used to like Adele going in there, and yeah. Anyway, it is mad. We'll go there. Lenora, you're going to love it. I just want to show something because there's a new feature of the show, and we're going to do a meme of the day. And I'm sorry that I'd forgotten this. I'm just going to share my screen. Take 30 seconds, and what we're going to do is, you send these into Pippa because Pippa's started the first day. Meme of the day, and you have to make the meme. It's not just a meme that you get. And there you go. Make it so. Galactico wins.
That's my brother. My brother.
Has anyone,
my bro?
Has anyone ever said that you look like him?
Yeah, I get that a lot. People come up to him and say he looks like me, you mean?
Is it Patrick Stewart?
He gets that all the time, Tim. He gets that all the time.
I love it.
Patrick Stewart?
Yeah.
Don't you try and tell everyone that you get mistaken for Michelle Fitzgerald?
I don't you don't know her.
Yeah, but Tim, no, we're not at Essex University now, are we?
going to mute everyone because I didn't really know who Michel Foucault was, and I looked him up this morning, and you don't really look anything like him. He's bald, but that's about as far as...
Glasses.
Anyway, where is Pippa? She's still here, right? Pippa, what is the...
What's the deal?
Yeah, go on, tell everyone what they need to do.
Okay, so the deal is that it's MOTD, Meme of the Day. It's going to be a Friday feature, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Once a week on a Friday. So you can use any of the meme generators that you can find on the internet. So I use one called ImageFlip, IMGFLIP, I think it is.
And is the restrictions that you have to use a photo of Nick Creel every week? Joking.
It can be somebody that we all know that you think is a looky-likey for somebody famous that everybody would recognise. It might be a ping pong meme that you've made up. It might be something like, for example, there are some doing the rounds, which is where people at home recreate famous art pictures. So you could have a go at recreating a famous art picture with a bit of dressing up. It works best if you put the original side by side with your version, but if you can't do it yourself, you can send me the two pictures and I'll make the meme for you. So
should or could we
the meme for you? So
should or could we use that? What's that app called?
ImageFlip I use, and it's free.
Could we use something to make our album covers for Alexis's selfie competition?
You can use that because you can, but it's quite a simple one where you can write text at the top or the bottom of the image that you've chosen. It's very simple, quick one. I just use it for Mickey taking.
All right.
I just like to make memes of people and send them just to cheer them up sometimes.
You know, so we're going to open tomorrow. If we run out of food, then we're just going to have to say, well, we don't have anything until we get some more. But we're going to get loads of food from the Junk Food Project, loads of meals from the Junk Food Project.
Right.
Dan Schindler is cooking up at St. Luke's. We went to London with Dan, do you remember?
Yeah, yeah.
And they're going to have like all this food Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the week after, every day there'll be loads of meals from the Junk Food Project for us to distribute from the club.
That's brilliant. Will any of those go up to the hospital?
Or take it to the hospital?
I
don't know. Why? To who?
The wards. Staff.
Don't know.
See, I guess see how much you've got first, and then if there's yeah.
It's not new to me, but my brother does it. My brother does all the gleaning, and then people from the bevy, and there's like this surplus food. They're all like, one person's got 1 million mushrooms, and other people haven't got any mushrooms. So then it's like, well, it all needs to be shared round, and there's loads of that stuff going on. So it's quite mad, really. But